I am getting married soon, but my mom is determined to ruin it all by demanding that I invite my ex, whom I cheated on several times in the past, and says that if my ex refuses to come, she won't come either. Posted by you/maintenance alone 2584. I, 28M, was a terrible person in the past, which I have moved on from. I used to drink a lot and had cheated on my ex, 27F, countless times during our 3-year relationship. I don't know how she stayed with me for so long. One day, she found out I was cheating again and broke things off, which I don't blame her for. I was cut off by my family, which was heartbreaking. I eventually improved myself, got into therapy, and reconciled with my family after apologizing. I found out that my mother and my ex were still in contact, which I didn't mind. They were close even when I was with her. My family invites my ex to family gatherings since her family is, let's say, not that good, which I also don't mind. We are both civil and don't interact much. Eventually, I met a new girl, 28F, and 1 year later, I'm engaged to her. She knows how I was in the past because I told her. We are planning a wedding with only close friends and family. Then the problem arises. My mother, who's close with my ex, wants to invite her to the wedding, and my fiancé is absolutely furious. The reason my mother is giving is that it's a family event. Honestly, I don't want her at my wedding either. I called my ex to talk about it, and she told me the same thing. She doesn't want to be at my wedding, but my mother is insisting, which is infuriating. My mother is still saying she won't come if my ex isn't coming, and my fiancé has had arguments with her. I am seriously thinking of not inviting my mother at this point, but if she doesn't come, I'm afraid I might be cut off from my family again. This is so infuriating. Top/relevant comments. Does Op's mother think he hasn't changed since the breakup, or did he move on too quickly? When I was 22, I broke up with my ex. I think 6 years is a lot of time to change, right? Commenter. Your mother appears to be either hellbent on punishing you for the rest of your life by making you interact with your ex on every occasion she can, or she's so emotionally enmeshed with your ex that she's willing to lose a son, a daughter-in-law, and contact with any children you may have in the future over this. It's time to point out to her that it's not just you she is upsetting, it's your fiancé, and that there may be long-term consequences to this. In the final analysis, who do you want a relationship with, your fiancé or your family? And in terms of the family, make quite sure you get the message out there to the rest of the family that you are not disinviting your mother, but that her insistence on bringing your ex to your wedding is causing a great deal of distress and hurt to your fiancé, and that, as her husband, you must support her, especially at her wedding. Commenter 2. Or maybe mom knows her son is a piece of crap? People like you don't change, regardless of what nonsense you type out. You will cheat on this woman just like the last one. The only question for men like you is how many lives you destroy in the end. Op's response. I have heard these quotes 1,000 times. I went to therapy. I got death threats from ex-friends. In another world, I would have chosen to end myself. But here, I chose to improve. Many people still don't like me, but what can I even do about them? You do seem like a Redditor who reads a million cheating stories. Update 1 day later. Honestly, I got overwhelmed with the responses. Thank you to everyone who replied. As most of you said, I grew a spine and talked to my mother with my fiancé and me sitting down. She wouldn't drop it, saying she doesn't like my fiancé. Well, my fiancé yelled at her. So, she's not coming to my wedding anymore. I sent a message to all wedding guests explaining the situation, that my mother wants to invite my ex to my wedding, and basically, most of them are on my side. As for those who said I'm ungrateful, let's just say they are uninvited and blocked. My brother, 34M, called me to say that I did the right thing, which was a relief. Going forward, I'll probably go low contact with my mother. My ex called me, and my fiancé and I talked to her on speaker. She apologized and said she already told my mother no and won't change her mind. I said okay, and of course, she's not invited. My father said he's not coming either if his wife isn't coming, which is, valid. So, the wedding is actually small, with 50 people. But the planned reception is huge, with 150 people, which my father is throwing on my behalf. My mother will be there, so there might be drama. Edit to add, should have added that my father and father-in-law are both throwing the reception together. I will have security at the wedding, just in case. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I'm glad you put your foot down. Since your father is hosting the reception, are you sure he won't cancel it due to pressure from your mother? Do you have a backup plan just in case? Op's response. My father said my mother won't do anything stupid at the reception, and my ex is not invited to the reception. Commenter 2. So your dad's not going to go to his own son's wedding because his wife is a beach. But will go to the reception looking like a loser who didn't go to his own son's wedding. Got it. Op's response. I don't know. My brothers don't have a close relationship with dad, to be honest. I'm the favorite child who was spoiled rotten by him. That was the reason I was terrible in the past. Commenter 3. I feel sorry for your ex, first, most likely damaged by you a ton in the past, which, based on my own experience, can take a very long time to heal from, and then used as a weapon against you by your mother. I hope your ex finds better people to trust. Ops response. Right, it's all my fault. I wish I was never in her life. Commenter 4. No excuse for cheating, but were you in the relationship with the ex to keep mom happy? Ops response. Nope, my ex was a nice person. She thought I could change while I was with her, and my mother was like a mother to her. Second update 3 days later. So I had a talk with my father-in-law and fiancé about the whole situation, and my father-in-law will be covering the cost of the reception on his own. I offered him some money, but he refused, saying I'm like his son, which made me tear up. My father and father-in-law had a shouting match on the phone about it, so my father and mother aren't coming to the reception anymore. My fiancé is happy, and I'm happy that our wedding and reception are going to be drama-free. We'll definitely have security there, but it's going to be hard explaining everything. A lot of people might bail on the wedding. I haven't talked to them since, and I'll probably contact my father after the wedding and reception are over. Last night, I'm going to be honest, I cried like a baby realizing that my mother and father aren't going to be there. But my fiancée comforted me, probably the most amazing woman I've ever met. I can't wait to spend my life with her. Also, I failed my PhD exam, the results came a few hours ago. I'll try again later, I guess. Going forward, I'm probably going to go low contact with my father and no contact with my mother. Top/relevant comments. Op gives thanks to the following comments. Commenter. Do not bow down to your parents. Do not reach out first. Let them come to you. And absolutely, they are not allowed back in your lives until they give a heartfelt apology to your wife. That should be the first step. In fact, a phone call should go something like this. Hi, parent. Are you calling to apologize? Oh, you're not. Okay. Got it. Maybe we'll catch up later, when you're ready to apologize to my wife first and me second. And then hang up. That's it, that's all. Unless and until they are willing to see you as the adult you are and your wife as the partner she is, and possibly the mother of your children, do not make space in your lives for them. Giving some people an inch means they demand the whole mile, or even the whole planet. I hope you have a nice, heartfelt gift for your father-in-law. Not necessarily expensive, in fact, it should be from the heart. Maybe a nicely framed photo from the wedding. Or something that reflects a hobby he loves, bonus points if you also do that hobby. Commenter 2. Op, give yourself grace regarding the PhD exam. You've been under a huge amount of stress caused by your mother. For those who bail, just know they never had your best interests at heart. But it sounds like your father-in-law does, and you're marrying into a strong family who's got your back. Work to build your relationship with him. I agree that going no contact with your mother is the right thing to do. She needs to take some time and think about her actions and how she's treated you and your fiancé. You might want to go no contact with your dad for a while too, until well after the wedding, once you're getting settled and have finished your PhD. Take care of yourself, Op. Third update 11 days later. So yesterday, I got married. It was the happiest day of my life. But yeah, it sucked not having my parents there. I never thought they would go this far against me. They didn't even come to the reception either. I honestly cried after the reception, but my fiancé was understanding and comforted me. I couldn't have asked for a better half than her. My ex sent a message of congratulations after the wedding, which I replied to with a simple, thanks. I still haven't contacted my parents since the wedding, but my father did send an air fryer as a wedding gift to my address, which is, like, an appliance, so I'm going to use it. The reception was awesome too, thanks to all of you for the wonderful comments, support, and suggestions. I honestly thought I didn't deserve all this because of how terrible I was in the past. But people can change. If you've done something wrong in the past, don't let it define you. Keep it in your mind and move forward. You can change. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I will say, glad you had a great wedding and reception. If inviting the ex was a point of contention, why respond to her text? Why isn't she blocked? Op's response. It was due to the mother problem. My mom was nagging her too, it was just for communication. Plus, I'm just gonna delete her number and not contact her anymore. Commenter 2. Return the air fryer. Don't respond, don't do anything, but don't open it or use it. Op's response. It's a petty piece apology form. I'm gonna use it and not respond. I don't have an air fryer, so it's gonna work, I guess. Commenter 3. Op, did your ex mention taking a step back from your mom and family? I can't imagine feeling comfortable hanging out with a woman who was pushing me to do something I was uncomfortable with, something the people the event actually mattered to were uncomfortable with, and then having such a big meltdown that she misses her child's wedding because of something I didn't want to do in the first place. No one was comfortable with this except your mother, apparently. It would really open my eyes to how it's time to start distancing myself from such an unhealthy attachment that doesn't benefit anyone anymore. Ops response. I don't know. My brother did tell me that my mom is complaining about my ex not picking up her calls, though. Commenter 4. So, after missing her son's wedding, even the ex is distancing herself from the mother. And now her relationship with Op, his wife, and any future children they may have will always be strained. And a lot of the family who got a front row seat to her crazy are probably more distant now to protect themselves. Lol.